Boy, Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. On Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. Ho, ho, ho.
Hello, Star Wars fans. You know, there's 349 days until Christmas 2024. Ho, ho, hello. It's good to see you all here. And just right off the top of the show, we have a good friend with us. He lives out in the part of the country where we're having some natural disaster currently taking place. A good friend of the channel, good friend of like all of us. He's appeared on all of our channels. He supports everyone. Jedi Mike. He lives out there in California. Hey, Mike, how are things for you? First of all, just for everybody who's here, we've been in touch this morning. I'm aware of what's going on, but just let everybody know, how are you doing, and what's the situation for you and yours out there in Southern California?
I'm good right now. I'm out in my car. I can hear Peanut. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. Well, the sunlight of the Spirit's shining this morning. Thank God. Our house, my family of 5, my mother-in-law was with us. That house is safe, and my mother-in-law's house is safe, and my brother-in-law's house is safe. But Pasadena's still under evacuation, like warnings. Sorry, I don't know if you heard me. I got interrupted by a call. Pasadena's still under evacuation warnings, and it was a little bit tough this morning driving out of the neighborhood. Some older folks and people are a little panicked when they see like a National Guard person and they don't let them back up the hill, you know, but for safety, our subdivision's fine. I sent you some pictures, but we don't need to scare anybody. Like, we're safe in the middle of the faith and the force, but a lot of people have lost everything, you know, even on blocks above us in the foothills of Pasadena and Altadena. So just keeping it simple, we just say, keep us in your prayers and the force will be with us, you know, no matter what the results are. But it's real out here today. And I'm appreciative that we get to talk about it, because we witness in science and we witness in faith, and you guys in making Star Wars, and you guys are real live people. And I'm grateful that we get to check in.
Oh, I appreciate it, Mike. And I know I hadn't talked to you in a few days, and I know it's going really, really, it's getting close. The problem is it's way too close for anyone's comfort, and it's done so much damage to so many people. It's displaced, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of people. It's destroyed homes. It's destroyed so much, and it's just a terrible, terrible situation going on there in Pasadena, Southern California. As you know, I've got another friend who lives just a couple miles from you, not very far at all. And Jason lives in the LA area. And I think Jason's a little further away. But all of you guys, take care, stay in touch. Mike, thank you so much for coming on. I know we've had other people have reached out to me and asked how you're doing. And our prayers are with you, my friend. And
yeah, thanks so much. You know, it's hard to get back to people, but I'm always the same 24/7. So thanks for letting me be here and be in the middle, because like when I get to be with you guys and it's real, I don't have to be in the middle of the fear. I can just be in the middle of the force, and it's a lot easier. So I appreciate the opportunity to, be here so you guys can send those prayers. Thanks, Santa.
All
Love
right.
you guys.
Take care, Mike. We'll talk to you later. Bye. All right. Great guy. Absolutely wonderful friend. And I knew many of you, you know who Mike is. You've seen Jedi Mike over from the Den of Nerds. You've seen him here. You've seen him over on the Making Star Wars. He makes his rounds. He's constantly supporting content creators. Just a wonderful guy. And that fire is literally in just, blocks from him. So, hey, we've got some stuff to talk about. We've got some Star Wars stuff going on here. And just catch you all up on a couple things with the channel. And as many of you know, we do have monthly meetings with our supporters. If you're one of our YouTube members or a patron, we schedule a monthly Zoom call where we get on and we talk about things that we can't talk about on live streams. And plus, we just share what's going on in our lives. What's going on? How you doing? And any topic that you may want to talk. We just hang out as a community. So if you're one of our patrons, one of our YouTube members, be sure Monday, if you can, to join us. I posted the Zoom link in Patreon. I've posted it on YouTube community. I've posted it in Discord, and I posted announcements about it in all the other places. So if you can join us, please do. We've got some changes I'd like to try to make here with the channel. And one of them we're going to discuss today. And I sent out to our supporters a proposed revision to our predictions game. And I saw a question come up before we went live asking, hey, on this predictions game, how's this thing going to work? So I saw this Star Wars politics. It says, does anyone know on this multiple choice thing? We're going to talk about this towards the end, but and we'll talk about it extensively next week. Are we supposed to submit? Where are we supposed to submit? Well, first of all, I sent out today to just the closed group the beta test version of the survey, and so you can answer it however you want. Doesn't matter. Points don't count. It's just for me to test the survey. So if you have access to that, feel free to answer however you like. It helps me because I need to learn about how the responses come in, how we're going to score it live, and come up with your totals, which leads to the second part of your question. How are we going to include this? Well, the questions will just go on to the week 8 predictions. The points will go there. Everything will add up, and you get the points from 1 through 7 plus this one. The points will add similarly. It's a little bit different, and we'll talk about that in more detail. But Star Wars politics, I wanted to address that right off the bat. Skywalker's Academy, good to see you. Baymax, good afternoon, sir. Star Wars Fits, good to see you. Who else is here? We've got lots of people in the chat. I saw Nathan. Hello. Good to see you. Hope you've had a great day as well. Hello, Brent and Mike Yaney. Good to see you as well. Who else do we have with us here? Well, I know somebody else we have here. I've already talked about Eli. Hello. This is our Christmas song. Nick, hello. And let's see. Eli Martin, I think already caught you. Skywalker's Academy. Mike Porter. Why do I post to Twitter? The video stops. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why when you post to Twitter, the video stops. That's a good question, Mike. I send out this stream to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook simultaneously. So you can, I don't know how that works. I really don't. But there's Matt Risman. Matt Risman has been a great help. he's also, you know, a thorn in everybody's side. I think, you know, in seeing how he torments Coach, I know that he's you know, on EBN's side, giving them a tough time too. It's just not me. You know, Matt Risman, he's constantly just poking the bear. Whatever he can do, he likes it. But it's good to see you. He's also a great friend, a great help. He's been involved with kind of this reworking of the survey, and so we'll do that. Saber Smith, hello, good to see you. Star Wars Fits, Brent, already saw you guys. He still thinks that Jod could be Cal Kestis. Boy, I don't think so, but you know, we don't know. Very good. Let's see who else is with us. Is that it? Have we caught up? Matt Risman, Saber Smith. I think that's it. I think we've caught up. If I missed you, just, you know, stick with us, and I'll come back around. No, not true, Matt. Not I just saw you are not an angel. No, and in fact, if I called Coach, I've got Coach's phone number, but he's probably in school. But if I called Coach right now and I would just to ask him a true false question, Matt Risman is an angel, true or false? I think I know his answer. I think I do. I think I do. Good to see you guys. Monday, we're going to meet with the supporters of the channel, and we'll go through some of the changes, what you like, what we might be able to do different to help all of you get the most value for supporting this channel. So I really, really appreciate it. There's a lot of news. There's a lot of news out there, and I've got everything up here to talk about it. And so we're going to start with our friend Bespin Bulletin, and this has been making its way around. Rory McCann has been recast to play Baylan Skoll in Star Wars Ahsoka Season 2. There you go. Rory, he's known probably most all for Game of Thrones, but he has an acting career that well outside of that. Rory has been in lots of things. He's certainly a swordsman. He certainly has the acting ability. My biggest concern, and I'll say I believe this story is 100% true. Not only was it initially reported by Daniel RPK, but it was then validated by Bespin. Bespin talks about how he double sourced it, and he has multiple sources who confirm the casting is accurate. So I believe it 100% is true. But then also, I just don't know about the charm that Ray brought to the role of Baylan. Baylan had a certain amount of charm, charisma. Rory, I don't know how well he'll represent that same amount of charm and charisma. He certainly has the ability to do the other things, but I just don't, for me personally, it remains to be seen how well this casting is going to hold up. If you guys watched the Harry Potter movies, you know that they recast Professor Dumbledore when the original actor died, and the different actors, or the replacement actor who came in to replace him, had a different kind of character to him, different kind of look and approach to the character. So for me, that's the biggest issue. Will Rory bring the same amount of charm and charisma to the role? And I see we've got another good friend here, Ben. Good to see you. He says zero concern here. I'm sick of the trend in Hollywood that we can't continue characters when we lose the actors. Much bigger characters have been recast, right? Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, James Bond, as I mentioned, Dumbledore. It's happened over and over again in franchises, not only movie franchises, but TV franchises. And that these streaming services in Ahsoka Season 2 is more of like a TV series, right? It's direct to consumer. It's more of a series, like it is a series. So why not recast? But I also would expect that this will make its way into Dave Filoni's movie in a couple of years. So that makes it a little bit different. But at the same time, yeah, I think that we need to be able to say when the actor passes, we can recast the role so that the character, I think it's a great tribute to Ray to say, you created this character that fans fell in love with. Fans have an absolute fascination with. And we respect what you did so well that we want to continue the role in your honor, not that nobody else can hold it. I get the other side of that would say nobody can do it like you did. You deserve to keep the role for yourself. But I think it's a bigger honor when the fans love a character so much that they say, you know what, it's worth recasting and we can carry this story further. So Nathan says, I like the recast of Baylan. Dale, Baylan will change characteristically anyway, so it'll be fine. He's probably corrupted soon. Well, if he goes down the path that Abeloth, and he finds that fount of knowledge that Abeloth has, and it corrupted her. If he finds that same fount and then he bathes in it, partakes of it, in the same way that they did in Legends, it would absolutely corrupt him. So if that's the direction they're going, that could happen. Who left their whole weather in my yard down here? I've heard down in Georgia, they've got snow. They've got snow in many southern states. We have snow on the ground right here in Ohio. So there's that. We've got plenty of snow. I love snow. And I saw Mike Porter put a poll out there. Do you like snow? And I do. So it might be different if you're in Texas. I know Dallas is getting the weather. There's a big game tonight. Here, hold on. Look at that. There's a big game tonight in Dallas, and they're getting snow. Down in Jerry's World. In Dallas, there are Ohio State plays in the game tonight against the Texas Longhorns. Should our Buckeyes prevail, they'll move on to play Notre Dame in the NCAA football college championship game in a week. So go Buckeyes. I'm pulling for you guys. But I know they're getting snow down south. Hold on one second. Peanut made a bad decision. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. She went to the floor and we had the dogs chasing her. That wasn't a good choice. That wasn't a good choice at all. So we're back. There's Peanut. Peanut, I'm going to set you down right back here on this table. I've got some toys for you there. Here. Hey, no, I know you're scared. Okay. She's scared. She's got to calm down. She said, I'm just going to stay with you if it's all right. Okay. So there's our Baylan. There's our Baylan news. So you guys, picking up from here, there's more news. Let me get caught up with the chat. I know I had to step away for just a second. Okay. I'm just going to jump down to current and catch up with you guys. Why does Peanut like to eat peanuts? Does Peanut like to eat peanuts? She does like peanuts, don't you? She loves peanuts. But peanuts are not the best. They're not the best food for parrots. They can cause them to get liver disease and stuff like that. So they can have a moderate amount, not too much. So more news. Let's get into the next bit here. And it has this story has been making its way around. It's Lucasfilm is rumored to be developing a series set in the Knights of the Old Republic era. Oh boy. Here we go. This rumor has existed for quite some time, and it's made its rounds multiple times. And we talked about it briefly last week, but I'll just address it again. I have a couple of concerns, and we're going to talk about the Skeleton Crew's ratings and the budget. In what is the return on investment in doing live action series for Disney Plus, and how do they calculate in earnings based off of viewership and subscribers? Right, when somebody subscribes to Disney Plus, there's not something in there that says, how do you want to contribute your membership money to Star Wars or this? Right? There's just so much that we don't know, right? So in my mind, following the last few live action series, and I know there's a big narrative around the Acolyte and the damage it did to the fandom and viewers of Star Wars on Disney Plus, attributing the viewership numbers for Skeleton Crew being low because the Acolyte ruined Star Wars for fans. I don't buy that 100%. Did it have some impact on viewership to Skeleton Crew? Perhaps. But Skeleton Crew has its own things. Ben says Skeleton Crew was 100% affected by the Acolyte and lack of marketing. If Solo came after Rogue One, the movie would have done better versus after The Last Jedi. I mean, perhaps, but how much better? Right? Solo had its own problems. It had lots of problems. First of all, the budget on it almost doubled from its original budget. There were other problems in the whole production of that. And as that was being produced and being filmed, there were rumors and stuff coming out. There was also big concern over casting and Han Solo not being Harrison Ford. Huge concern about that. And a lot of people, regardless of whatever The Last Jedi did, would have had some reservations about going to see Solo. There was just a lot in the news. Like the whole movie had to be scrapped and redone by Howard, right? So Ron Howard had to come back in and kind of save the ship. And I think a lot of people were like, oh, so double the budget, the production issues, and then add to it some of the marketing issues in Last Jedi and fans' response to Last Jedi. And I think it all adds together. If we look at the Skeleton Crew, it's got great word of mouth, right? It has wonderful fan response from people who are watching it. Is Acolyte part of the reason people are not watching Skeleton Crew? Maybe because they were like, this is not the Star Wars for me, and they canceled their Disney Plus. They're just not watching it. Or maybe they're waiting until they hear, how is this thing going to land? Well, let's get episode 8 down, right? And then we'll figure it out. We're going to talk about this more in just a moment. But when you talk about making a KOTOR, right? Knights of the Old Republic, you're going to make something set in that era. Now, the story that Daniel RPK says is it's going to be set in the era. Not that it's going to be a movie adaptation or a series adaptation of the Knights of the Old Republic video game. And Meg covered this a little bit on hers. And that's not the rumor. The rumor is that it's set during that era. So people who are huge fans of KOTOR, who want to see that made into a live action series that is true to the game, the spirit of the game, the content of the game, might be severely disappointed when it doesn't. And even if they were going to make a KOTOR game-based series, it would not follow the story as it does in the game. It will have differences. You're going to have, it's like any book adaptation to a movie. Harry Potter. Yeah. What? Lord of the Rings, Jurassic Park, any of those that are novel adaptations into movies. You take a game and you put it into a live action series, it's going to have differences. Base the series just in the era without tying it to the game. So maybe you don't get Revan. Maybe he's not even in the movie or in the series. How would that land? Do a series, live action series set during the time of the Knights of the Old Republic. Don't put Revan in it. How's that land? You know what I'm saying? Also, budget, viewership. Would they spend any amount of money? What? Yeah. Would they spend any amount of money to make a show that might also have lower viewership, that might not make them any money, right? So there's that. I saw some Skeleton Crew. Let's see. I caught that. There was another comment. I saw Baymax made a comment. Yeah, about Daniel RPK. Look, that's the source, Daniel RPK, and you have to know that his reporting is not at the same level of strictness that Bespin or Jason at Making Star Wars hold. So you might end up with something. It might not be true. That's what I'm trying to say. Knights of the Old Republic. What if they hint at it with the credits and how old Atten is? Oh, I see what you're saying. There's been a big debate over on a guy who loves Star Wars, Mike. There's been a debate on his Discord about when these scrolls were made and when these mints were created on these jewels of the Republic, these planets, the 9 planets, how far back they go, and when were they lost to history? When were they? There's been a huge debate. And will it tie in? Will there be a tie-in in the finale back to the Old Republic? I don't think so. Right? My guess is no. But we'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. Let's see. They could. Let's see. Oh yeah, definitely. The Acolyte just hurt the brand even more. For example, I have firsthand non-prompted experience. My uncle was not going to watch Skeleton Crew because of the Acolyte. Ben, the same is true the other way, though. The same is true the other way. I've seen where people did not watch the Acolyte, and then they got curious. And they went and watched it, and they said, whoa, what is all this controversy about? I thought it was great. I loved it. I don't understand why people are upset. I think it's one of the best things I've ever seen. I've seen that over and over and over again in social media. It depends where your circle of who you're hanging out with. And I know that on the whole, the Acolyte is not as popular. Right? It has more people who disliked it than liked it. But there are plenty of people who come to Star Wars because of it, or like after the fact, we're like, wow, this is great. Knights of the Old Republic is very interesting. They would have to do it so perfectly. I just don't know if they could. Not only that they could, that they would. Right? There's your problem. Would they? Would that even be one of their goals? Would they aspire to make a series that's true to the game? You think so? Huh? Yeah. I see you nodding. So Peanuts has a decision on it. Hear me out. What if they connect Knights of the Old Republic? Oh, I just saw that. Yep. We talked. Hey, don't scream in my ear. If they made a KOTOR series or movie as good as they did Skeleton Crew or Andor, they would have made. Yeah, if they do, and if people watch, but I mean, who's going to spend that money? That's my question. Who's going to spend the money to make it? I think putting it in the era could potentially work, but they have to really make that 100% clear to the audience. Yes, there's the other problem, Ben, and you've nailed it here. The problem we had with one of the biggest problems we have with the Acolyte, there's many problems with the Acolyte, but one of the problems is how they marketed it, advertised it, sold it, talked about it in social media, how they interact with the fans, how they manage, public relations through that whole thing. Hot mess. You have to set expectations correctly. You have to be clear about what it is and what it's not, so that people don't get their expectations set in a way that's completely different. If you're going to do something during Knights of the Republic era and not make it true to the game or follow the beats of the game, you have to come out right up front and say, folks, Revan's not going to be in this. Promise, we're not lying. This isn't going to be a surprise cameo. It's not going to be something that's going to sneak up and have him peek out from behind the cave. None of that's happening, and they have to be true to it, right? I just don't see it. I don't see it. I just can't see it. Let's see. Maybe Matt. You remember what Matt said about being an angel? Yeah. What do you think, Matt? You think Matt's an angel? Yeah. Did it hurt your head when you fell from heaven, Matt? I don't think someone who thinks it's canon that R2D2. Brent, stop. None of that's. You've listened to too much stuff that's not true. You've listened to too much stuff that's way off the edge. You've gotten too involved in things that are outside of the context, the content. So yeah, that has no place in the discussion. Let's see. Good thing about the Acolyte was the power of many songs. Oh, that'll live on forever. Yeah. Let's see. Those were the trolls. No, the people. Look, I belong to some groups that are like fans who love Star Wars, the non-toxic fan base. There are all kinds of different things. You can find them on social media groups, and they'll only allow you in there if you promise that you're not going to say, provocative stuff, right? You have to be positive, and it follows the old Thumper rule. You remember, you guys watched Bambi when you were kids. What was Thumper's rule? His mom told him a rule. There was a rule. It says, if you can't say something nice, then don't say nothing at all. That was it. So yeah, that's some of the groups I belong to, and it's all right. Nerd Mafia's here. What Santa's saying is to embrace the story told. Are fans stuck on what they want versus amen, Skywalker's Academy. Dale, you're 100% on point. Let's see. What else we got going on? Peanut right in Santa's ear. I know. What? Yeah, you want more pets? Okay. I think my real question at the end of the day is, are we just gonna keep getting more Mandalore stuff? I think the big thing I want to see is Celebrations, a future live action series. I want to see that. I also want to see what's going on with animation. With Celebrations coming up, what's going on in animation? Yeah. It feels like we really don't have anything new coming out in terms of TV other than what we know. Right. Ahsoka season 2. After Andor, Ahsoka season 2, the end. Right? They've got to figure out the budget. Right? I hope before Skeleton's Cruise over, we hear Jod sing a new song. The power of money. Oh, thank you for the kiss. I appreciate that. Very nice. Yeah. Nerd Mafia. I never saw Bambi. Did his mom ever get to be a you're terrible. You're terrible. All right. Another story. Let's go on to the next story. You know, we follow some collector groups here. I'm into the vintage collection line. We get these 3 3/4 size figures, right? What do you think of Din Djarin? You like him? No, don't like him. What about Bo-Katan? You like Bo-Katan? Here, what do you think about Bo? Oh, no, doesn't like Bo either. All right. You know what, Peanut? You want to go sit down? Here. There you go. All right. We'll see if she'll play with that paper Santa Claus back there. See if she'll destroy it. We do vintage collection stuff here, and we've got friends of the channel who are also vintage collection stuff, and we have a tournament coming up. You know, March Madness is a big sports ball thing where you just have basketball teams. They put them in brackets, and they play until you get a champion. Well, March Madness is also a thing that they like to do with vintage collection, and I'll share this with you guys a little bit. There's this Star Wars TVC. It's a vintage collection, home of the TVC March Madness, and the TVC or podcast. Let's see. Can you guys see that? Here's you can come up with your bracket of the top 25. You know, that's one of the fun things is for the actual March Madness with the basketball team. You put in your bracket and you say who's going to win, right? So in that case, you can make your own March Madness bracket and submit it. And then you can come up, right? It looks like this. You go to the link, you fill out the things, right? Your number one most wanted figure, number two, right? All the way down, right? You put in all the figures, your top 25, what you would like. And as Baymax says, it's on Instagram, right? So this is all on Instagram. So if you do that, then you can come up with your top 25. And like here's Baymax's, for example, right? So here's 2025. This is Baymax's top 25. What he would like to see added to the vintage collection line. And the link to the March Madness stuff is in the description here, and Baymax has posted it in the chat. If you guys want to participate in this, and you can come up with your list of 25. And here's an example of Baymax's. I see we've got all kinds of fun things across the different series. So good for you, Baymax. No, he lies. I did not put Plagueis in at number one. But to be truthful, if I were to put mine together, Plagueis would be in my top 25. There's a misconception that I dislike the character of Plagueis. I don't dislike the character of Plagueis. I dislike the book, the novel. It's terrible. It's the worst, one of the worst canon, or it's not even canon, which is good. It's one of the worst Legends books that I've ever read. So bad. It's terrible. And I've done it 3 times for you, just because I appreciate what all of you do. And no, I won't do it a 4th. I won't. The three's too many. So you can put together your top 25. I like number 24 here. We need season 1 Grief Karga. That's great. So here, you guys can put together your top 25, and you can come up with, you can participate in the March Madness for Vintage Collection. Couple of things is that the folks at Hasbro do seem to be paying attention. As Baymax messaged me earlier, what was the numbers you have here? He put a number. He told me since last year's top 100 was compiled, 10 of the top 25 have been released or pipelined. So out of this, they get the top 25 when everybody compiles them in together. 10 of those 25 have already been pipelined. And so Hasbro is watching and responding. So if you're a vintage collection person, you would like to see something made, this is the place to get heard by the folks at Hasbro. So be sure you do that. All right. Again, the links are in the description of this video, and you can go out there. Yes, we did get the blurgs, right? We did. Let me get caught up with your chat again before we go on to the next topic. Let me back up here. Let's see. I got to catch up. They just set up a patent in the UK for a new company called Dancing Suns. So something else is getting developed for live action, it seems. Actually, I've got an exclusive. I'm not a leaker, right? I am not in the leaking game. I have friends who are. Bespin and Jason are my leaking friends, right? We even have a group chat called what is it called? It's called Jason and Bespin's Dripping Leaks. That's the name of the group chat. Those are your leakers. And on Monday, I may share more with you. But yes, this Dancing Suns is out there. But the person I know who knows some of these things has given me information on the veracity of this story. So I'm not going to tell you if it's true or false right now. But if you're one of our supporters, one of our members, one of our patrons, I'll tell more about it on Monday, because I am not a leaker. I'll let Bespin or Making Star Wars talk about that. Right? I'm not going to do it. Let's see. The true definition of toxic positivity is being so positive you refuse to look at things realistically. Well, Brent, that's somewhat true. Toxic means that you attack people who have opposing views. Not that you refuse, right? I can walk around with my head in the clouds with my rosy sunglasses on all day. That doesn't make me toxic, right? May make me a little, maybe a little living in my own bubble, right? We create these bubbles where everything we hear is in the bubble of what we believe, right? So if I just surround myself with people who only agree with me, and I put myself in that bubble, that doesn't make me toxic. What makes me toxic is if somebody comes in and says, I didn't like the Acolyte. It was just, oof. And they talk about the things they didn't like. And I say, you are an absolute scum of the earth because you don't like the thing I like. That makes me toxic, right? Let's be clear about that. All right. Let's see. Just Seth says, just did this for the Black Series since he doesn't collect vintage collection. Very good. Very good. Sandra will put, no, Baymax, I will not. I will not put in Oshamir. However, I might put Chimere in there. Osha and May, would I want them? I mean, would I? Chimere, I might. No, no. Let's see. My most desired Black Series figure is Thrawn. My dog won't eat. She already chewed through 2 of them. Well, you know what? Peanut has already taken a chunk out of my chair. She was on this table here behind me yesterday, and she got too close, and I wasn't paying attention. You can see a Peanut right here. And she got too close to my chair, and she started chewing on it. So there's a big chunk out of the back of my chair. Yeah, so you got to watch your pets. Plagueis is not my favorite character. That's Luke. R2, the OG folks, right? BB-8 and Anakin. Great, Brent. That's great. But, no, Baymax, no. However, I would love to see a re-release of vintage collection stuff. Hold on 1 second. Oh no, she's fine. I appreciate it. Thanks, hon. My wife offered to take Peanut because she's being so disruptive. Yeah, it's good. You guys like hearing Peanut, right? So I would want vintage collection sequel characters released again. Some of them were mediocre. I would like to see them redone. Certainly Rey from the 3 movies easily would make my list. I have a serious question about the lore of Star Wars. It's a serious question, not a frivolous or surface level inquiry. The question is, does the Ohio State football team use lightsabers? That's only for insiders to know, Mike. We can't let those folks down in Georgia in on the training facility. What we do in Columbus stays in Columbus. You know, we can't. What happens inside the Ohio State training facilities stays in. Yeah. No, can't let you know. Can't do that. Has Peanut ever been in the eye of a Star Wars droid? Not yet, but she may take an eye out. If I gave her these, you guys saw what she did to Bo-Katan. It wouldn't be good. We moved on from how to get back on the basketball team to the football team. I'm upset that the recent TVC did not come with a lightsaber, is what he meant to say. His autocorrect changed it. He meant to say it didn't come with his lightsaber. How long do you spend each night looking at my Rey shrine? Well, she's on this entire shelf back here behind me, and all day, every day is a work day. She's right there, and I can see. Oh, there's more than a dozen figures of Rey back there. Let me see if I can show you guys. Right up there, see that up there? There's more than a dozen of them. So yeah, every day I get to see Rey. So there you go. Okay, let me get caught up with the chat because we got more stories to do. Brent says, I'm not an Oshimir fan, but I accept. Yeah, I accept a lot of these things. I just don't have to like them, right? Santa will put in Holdo because he loves purple rinses. Matt, I'm not clicking on that one. You guys have been around too long. You guys, I'm not part of the Yord Horde, nor am I a Reylo. All right. Okay. Oh, Mike says he's a Georgia Tech guy. I can tell him all about Ohio State's lightsaber usage. Well, Mike, I'll have to do that on our member and supporters call. So let's get on to the next story. The next story, and we talked about some of this already, so we'll come to this now. The Skeleton Crew has the worst Star Wars ratings on Disney Plus, lower than The Acolyte. Now, it should be noted, and this is just from Cosmic Book News, but it should be noticed, this is just Nielsen ratings for the first 2 episodes. Right, and we knew that these were low before now. Like this isn't new news, right? We already knew this. Bestman reported it a long time ago. We've had other things come out, but Nielsen ratings just came out on the first 2 episodes. What episode comes out next week? Episode 3? Where are we? That's episode 8. We're a long way behind, right? We're a long way behind. These Nielsen ratings are from the first 2 episodes that released. I think word of mouth has been improving. In fact, one of the recent stories shows that the Skeleton Crew is like, I think I might get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's ranked number 1 in shows being streamed on Disney Plus. I think Skeleton Crew's number one in one of the most recent numbers that they took, right? So if they're number one in one of the recent ones, well, let's wait until we see. I just realized that the names down here hadn't changed. We'll talk about that in a minute. But how's it changed since the first two episodes? I think that the numbers will be up, and saying that these numbers they're the lowest. We talked about this again. We talked about it last week. I talked about it a little bit earlier. When you talk about the viewership and the ROI, you also have to consider budget, and the Skeleton Crew's budget is significantly lower than the Acolyte's budget. So Skeleton Crew's viewership being lower than Acolyte's isn't necessarily a one-to-one comparison, right? You got a big budget, low numbers, a smaller budget, lower numbers. What's the ratio there? And will the numbers improve? Have they already improved? And what do the numbers look like now? And what will they look like after the finale next week? As I mentioned before, there's a lot of people waiting to see, how's this thing going to land? Right? If the fans come out and say, wow, that really stuck the landing. It's one of the best shows that I've seen on Disney Plus for Star Wars in a long time. When this happens, we may see more people coming on, right? Most people have watched Skeleton Crew are positive, right? The people who have watched it are positive. I've watched like Thor Skywalker, and I've seen the Star Wars Theory, and plenty of other people who have been plenty critical of Disney Star Wars, Disney Lucasfilm, plenty critical, come out and say, oh, Skeleton Crew, kind of like it, right? Yes, Kay says, I think Santa is more of a Finn Ray fan. Me too. I'm a Finn Ray guy, and I would love to see that moved forward. Now that Ben is dead, Brent, I know where your fan fiction is on it, and I know where your own opinion is on it. But now that he's dead, I'm going to leave him dead, and I'm going to say Finn and Ray, they move forward. They have children. They raise them, and they teach them in the ways of the Force, and they have they're collecting other Force users throughout the galaxy and treating them. And Ray and Finn move on as a couple. I'm still a Finn Ray guy. That's it. Thronkill, we just binge watched with our son Skeleton Crew while he's in the children's hospital. He actually likes it. That's very good news, Thronkill. It is a lower budget, but better effects. In many ways, that's true. In many ways, that's true. Brent, I think if Darth Melvin gave a Skeleton Crew an unbiased, Darth Melvin's not going to like anything. His opinion is, as long as Disney owns Lucasfilm, it's all trash. That's it, and that's all that matters to him. KG, yeah, I think a lot of folks are still apprehensive. They're waiting on the show, the shoe to drop, right? Somewhat understandable, but kind of holding on onto a grudge. Yeah, KG, you're right. Litrix, it certainly have been better world building and more Star Wars eye candy. I agree. So let's see what happens, shall we? Let's see what happens. Now, I want to get into this predictions thing. Many of you have been watching along through the series. You've been following the channel. I saw Thronkill here. Nerd Mafia is here. We've got lots of folks who are KG and KG's Padawan are right in the running to make it onto the season leaderboard here. You see Brett Phillips, Nerd Mafia, KG's right there, season leaderboard. Skywalker's Academy, Matt Risman. These are folks that are in the running to win some Star Wars Santa merch. Mumbo Jimbo, right there. Star Wars politics. I tell you what, this guy's been politicking for points, right? He's a half point ahead of Santa. I've got 52. Star Wars politics is a half point ahead. And Brian Stone right there. Matt Risman. Brett cheated. What? Many people would say Matt cheats. But Matt does his homework. He cheats a little bit, but let's be truthful. He cheats a little bit, but mostly he does his homework. Right? He gets points because he did the homework. Star Wars Politics says, I missed 2 episodes. Oh my goodness, you're still doing quite well. So we're going to change up the survey. Every week when we do our predictions game, there's been 10 yes/no questions on it. Where is this going to happen? Yes or no? Will this be said? Yes or no? Will this happen? Yes or no? Right? 10 of them. And then we had a bonus question where if you took a guess, you might get 1, 3, 5, maybe 4 points, right? Based on my own subjectivity, right? Well, we're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of that bonus question where there's 1, 3, 5, or I've got to try to make up some amount of points. Yes, I know. You've been politicking. It's right in his name. That's what he does. It's an accurate description of who he is, right? He politicking for those points. Santa, I think you need to give me another point. He's no different than Risman or especially for Skywalker's Academy. Dale, boy, he's trying to whittle every single point he can get. So there's that. We're going to change it up. And I was talking to Matt, and again, Matt's been a tremendous help in this. Tremendous help. I appreciate all your assistance in this, Matt. We're going to change this up a little bit, and let me get this ready to show on screen. As I mentioned, it's been yes and no questions. We're changing it. Now it's going to be some multiple choice questions, and this is my draft version. This has not been. You guys could see my like real email address there. Don't send stuff to that. No, yeah, send it to Star Wars Santa, StarWars.SantaClaus@gmail. Send email there. Don't send it to the one you just saw. Don't do it. So you put in who's your name, who are you, and then question 1. Pew pew. Someone gets shot with a blaster. Click as many as apply, right? So if you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you lose a point. And I've gotten some feedback on this. I don't like the lose a point thing. Well, the problem is if we didn't do lose a point, you could just click all of them, and whichever one's right, you're going to get. And there's no disincentive for the wrong ones, right? So you would say, is somebody going to get shot lethal, right? This is all off of pew pew, right? Like that. So if you say that, then yes, non-lethal, right? If somebody's going to get stunned, like the parents did last week, you would get a point. If this was episode 7, somebody gets shot lethal, you could click that one too. So on question 1, you can get 2 points. See how that works? If you click no, well, then you can only get 1 point. And you might get a negative point, right? So it's because if nobody got shot and you click these 2, it'd be +1 -2. You'd get a negative point. So don't do that, right? So you could get 1 or 2 points. Lightsabers in the Force. And what's Star Wars without lightsabers in the Force? Well, some would say it's Andor. No, bricks and screws. The lightsabers in the Force. Things that count: Force push, Force choke, Force jump, Force lightning, Force ghosts. Maybe Jod's former master will tell him, "You're being a jerk. Knock it off. That's not the way." So if you got that, you could get a point. So Jod uses the Force in an observable way, right? You could say, yep, he does. Jod's going to use his lightsaber. Well, I think that's a safe bet, right? You could click that. Someone else is going to use the Force. Oh, does anybody on Aten? Is anybody Force sensitive? Would they do that? I don't know. Someone else lights a lightsaber other than Jod. So, Wim, at the one point, he lit that lightsaber and it went flying across the room. You say, yeah, sure. Somebody's going to get the lightsaber from him and take it. I don't know. You guys, you come up with, or nobody uses the Force, no lightsabers, right? Question 3, there be pirates, yar. There be pirates, yar, right? The The rest of the pirates, excluding Jod and Smee, who are on the frigate, right? We're talking about the pirates who are on the frigate, not Jod or Smee. It says the pirates don't cross the barrier, right? They're just staying there. Brent says, I'm watching on my first tablet. Fantastic, Brent. The pirates cross through the barrier and the gun on top of the school shoots at them. Is that going to happen? Or the pirates cross through the barrier and land unopposed. Right? They just come in and they land. Everybody was like, oh, look at that. That's interesting. Maybe the pirates cross through the barrier and lay waste to the city. Lots of shooting. Right? They're blowing stuff up. People are running for their lives. Is that going to happen? Or other. Now, this you can fill in the blank. What do you think might happen? So there's that element and you get to decide. When you do that, then the way it works is if you get it right, we're going to give you 2 points. Right? You come up with something just out of your noggin, you put it in there, you get 2 points. Get it wrong, you still only lose 1. How's that? High risk, high reward, low risk. Except you can still -1. Right? Who's the supervisor? There's been a discussion about this. Who is the supervisor? Is it a droid? A member of the Shadow Council? Captain Renard, right? A Jedi survivor of Order 66. I put this in here because Kieran, Star Wars Fits, sent me an article earlier today that somebody has a theory that somebody from the High Republic era, who maybe a long living species type, maybe a survivor of Order 66, ran to At-Aten because they were there before it was lost to history, and they're still there now. They've lived hundreds and hundreds of years, much like Maz Kanata, right? Think of like a Maz Kanata type. And they're still hanging out there. Maybe it's that. You forgot about the concubine. Or a citizen of At-Aten, not any of the above. Because I already know Skywalker's Academy, what he would say is droids are members of the are citizens of At-Aten, so I get 2 points. I see you, Dale. A member of the Shadow Council who lives on At-Aten is also a citizen of At-Aten. I get 2 points. Am I right? Right. Captain Rennan, if he was still alive, I think he's long dead. It was but he lives there. No. So what I did is said not any of the above. So you get 1 point. No extra points for you, Dale. Right? Or other. Right? If you think that the supervisor is none of these people, is somebody else, well, you could guess that, right? KG, I'm sort of hoping it's a HAL-like droid to provide interesting commentary. I think so too. Yeah, I kind of hoping it's a droid as well. Not sure. Cameo from a named character, not in this show. Same deal. If you think Din and Grogu are going to show up, maybe you think Thrawn's going to be there. And maybe with Thrawn, you got somebody else you'd like to put their name on there. Look, you can get 3 points, right? If you get the other right and Thrawn is in there too, maybe you want to put Hera Syndulla, right? Right, I probably spelled that wrong, but you can fill that in. You can get 3 points if both of them are there, right? So Matt says for the question about the supervisor, we probably need a none of the above. You're right. I agree with you, Matt. I think I will add that, right? Dale says, does a ship count as a cameo? Oh, like you're thinking like the Chimera, right? The Chimera is its own kind of character, or like the Falcon or the Ghost. No, ships don't count, Dale. No, they don't count. A named character, not a regular in this show. So, yeah, other could work as none of the above. I'll put a none of the above in there as well, right? I will. I'll do that. Star Wars lingo. So you've seen this in here before. right? In Star Wars lingo, a quote. Somebody's going to say, "May the Force be with you," or we almost had it last week with, "I've got a bad," and then she got cut off, right? "I've got a bad feeling about this," or "Hello there, it's a trap," right? Anything that's a quote, right, from a famous quote. Like you can't go say, let's see, in this scene in Phantom Menace, when some character was talking to another character, they said, "My feet are sore." And somebody here says, "My feet are sore." You say, "Oh, look, Santa, they said my feet are sore," and it's in this part of no. All right, nobody said that, but I'm just giving you an example. It has to be one of the famous quotes, right? Right? Do you get a half point for "I have a bad"? No, it was coming though, right? It was coming. No point, right? Or slang, right? Nerf herder, wizard. We've heard that. Dank ferric, carabast, right? That belongs in here. Or bucket head, right? Anything like that. If that, so you could get 2 points just like that, right? And then Jod's redemption. This has been a discussion going around. Is Jod going to be redeemed? Well, I don't know. What do you think? Is he going to be redeemed? Well, it says Jod. Oh my goodness, we have a super chat. I gotta get on that. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the super chat. First of all, it says runs with phantoms. It says frick the Imperial Guard, frick the Imperial Remnant, frick the Admiral, Baylan the Space Hound, Skoll. Yeah, thank you so much for the super chat. That's fantastic. I appreciate it. How about unlimited power? Yes, that would count. That would count, Fitz. What about the word credits? No, that's not slang. Credits isn't slang, right? Credits is just a word, right? It has to be, has to be slang. So no, that wouldn't count. So here we have Jod's redemption. Jod doubles down on his pirate self-serving bad guy ways. No redemption. You could say that. Or maybe you think Jod is partially redeemed. He's not fully a good guy, but he shows some compassion. He helps the kids in some way. All right. Next one. Jod is fully redeemed. A hero. Heroic. He lives to fight for good. Truth and justice in the American way. No. Right. He is fully redeemed. Right. That would be there. What Jod is partially redeemed. Not there's I said that. The next, Jod is fully redeemed, a hero, but he sacrifices his life to save the kids or Ad-Hatem. All right. So you can put, or you think Santa, none of those are quite right. I'm going to give you a different answer. So you could do that. All right. And again, just to make it clear, you can't say, I'm going to double down on this one, right? So I'm just going to take that. I'm going to click this. And then I'm going to put this here. Look at that. I get 3 points. No, that's not how that works. That doesn't work, right? No, just no, right? Can't do that. Ad-Hatem. What's going to happen with Ad-Hatem? It remains hidden, and its location is still unknown to outside folks. So all said and done, the show wraps up. Life on Ad-Hatem is largely unchanged. The second answer says, the secret's out. The location becomes known to outside folks. Maybe that's it. My galactic basic slang is found wanting. Criff counts. Criff definitely counts. Hero dares fire. Hello. Good to see you in the chat. I've been here. This is one of our original supporters, one of the winners of one of our very first giveaways on the channel. Hero dares fire, and at least for a time, and perhaps still a fellow Buckeye, somebody who lives here in the state of Ohio. Good to see you. The third answer, it joins the other jewels of the Republic by being destroyed, whatever that means, right? It says the barrier is broken or partially broken, right? Those satellites, so now people could travel to and from without worrying about getting, blown it up. Or societal breakdown, much like we saw in Akron, where now there's a civil war, or it's been irreversibly changed in some way, right? The secret's out. Things are it's no longer a hidden jewel where it's, life is still primarily as it was. Or you have another answer, what you think the future of Aten is at the end of the series. 9, death of a named character. Right? One of the kids dies. Oh, that would be tragic. I hope it doesn't happen. One of the kids' parents die. Right? So if you think like all of this, right? Everybody's dying. If we get a Rogue One ending, everybody's dying. Everybody, right? There's 3 points, right? If that happens, right? And then number 10, right now, and this is up to be, changed. Right now, I just have 3 point, and it's binary, right? Give me a point. Yeah, I'll take a point. Or no thanks. I'll take 0 points. Right? If I come up with a 10th question, or one of you sends me a 10th question that I can put in to replace that, I was going to go with something more subjective, but still a freebie, where I would say, which was your favorite episode? And you could say, episode 1, 2, 3, 4. I have like all 8 episodes there. And no matter what answer you gave, you would get 1 point. And I was like, except you can't put episode 8 in because we haven't seen it yet. So I can't do that. If there were something else I could put in there, I will. So right now, this is just I wanted to walk you through how this is going to work, how the scoring will go, and sort of where my head is in all of this. We have until Monday. Well, I'll tell you what, later today. I will try to get it later today. I will try to send out the link to the finalized version of this. I want to make some changes to it. And if there's anything else that you would like to see changed, and send it to me. And we'll consider that in the final that'll go out. All right. So let's see. Star Wars politics. I wanted to submit who gets the credits on Aten. Oh, like the credits remain on Aten, or Jod takes all the credits and lives the rest of his life as a multi-zillionaire, whatever, gazillionaire, whatever that word would be, right? Or it's distributed to all the people. I don't know. I think the some point sheet adjustment for episode 7 is needed for the Criff slang. Oh, Brent, I'll have to go back and look. Any statement made about Aten, I can't help but hear in my head in Space Me's voice. Love it. Yes. Space Smee. Love it. Let's see. When you say the planet Aten, you obviously mean the mint and all those credits, right? I mean, yeah. That's what I mean. The planet Aten and all that is contained, right? All of it. Yeah. That's what I mean. Free credits. Yar. Or play one of those scammy free credits apps on Jod starts Canto Bite. There you go. He takes all those credits and he starts his own casino, right? Oh, will Smee be repaired? Oh, KG, I think you have a winner. I like the idea of making question 10 related to Smee. What's Smee's final outcome in the show, right? Episode 8. If we don't see him again, so I'll say, I'll give questions like, Smee's head is restored. Smee's head is activated but not restored. Smee is smelted down for nothing. Smee is not seen whatsoever. Right? I'll give you answers like that, or a fifth, which is, you fill in the blank. Maybe I'll do something like that. I like that, KG. At AT&T smartphone. Oh, that's fantastic. John saying criffing. Wait a minute. Was that in the last episode? I don't think it was. I don't think the word criffing was in there, right? That was episode 6. Yeah. I don't think it was in there. We looked. Matt looked. I looked. We went back and rewatched. And I don't think that we can add any points for Star Wars slang in episode 7. It just isn't there. All right. So that's what the prediction is going to look like next week. Again, I've got some tweaking to do here to finalize it. Thank you, KG, for that question about SME. I will add that as question 10. And then Matt made a really good point about adjusting one of the answers as well. So there you go. We'll plan to do that for the predictions. I'll get it out later today. If you have any questions or anything along those lines, let me know. So I think I skipped over. I did. So we had the Wall of Fame, right? The Wall of Fame for episode 7 was everybody who played except Santa, right? Because I got the lowest. I had 3 points. And it took 2 pages of Wall of Fame. So we got Baymax and Brent and Brett and Brian and Daniel and Darth Winnie, Ducky Momo, KG's Padawan, and Matt Risman, still on the Wall of Fame for episode 7. Mike Yaney, Mumbo Jimbo, Nerd Mafia. Nerd Mafia made it on the Wall of Fame. RF Gaming Channel, Skywalker's Academy, Star Wars Fit, Star Wars Politics, and Thrawn Kill. All made the Wall of Fame because Santa did so poorly. Maybe you would like to see your name on the Wall of Fame. You can play the predictions game. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a supporter. You don't have to subscribe to the channel. All you have to do is click on the link and take the survey. That's it. We'll put the link in all the places so you can do that. But then you might make the Wall of Fame, again, depending how poorly Santa does. Then, for those of you who have been playing along, you've seen this going on. Brett Phillips, I have 52 points. Santa's got 52 points on the season. Brett Phillips, way up there at 63. Nerd Mafia at 57. He's 5 points ahead. And traditionally, Nerd Mafia has always skipped at least 1 week. So he hasn't skipped yet. So that means he's going to skip week 8, and I will pass him. KG with 55. Skywalker's Academy with 54. Matt Risman, 53. 1 point up. Mumbo Jimbo, 53. Star Wars Politics, he's got a half point on me, and Brian Stone tied for the season leaderboard. So there you go. We'll have the finale coming up. I'm super excited. We're going to have our members meeting on Monday. You guys are welcome to it. Join us if you're one of our YouTube members or one of our patrons and you're available. And I've already seen Anthony's not available, but Anthony, we could have a call separately. Then Tuesday, we'll do our predictions. We'll go through the predictions. I'll put my predictions in, and you can fill out your prediction sheet. Then Wednesday, we'll do a wrap-up review. So that's the plan at this point. We'll see where it goes after that. So we do have a Mike Porter dad joke. I'll get to that here in 1 second. Star Wars Politics. I'm so confused. Well, how are you confused? So is it going to be the predictions for episode 8? Are you changing the format for the last episode? Yes. I am changing the format for the last episode. I know it doesn't feel fair. It doesn't feel right. We had the same questions for all the exact same questions, the exact same survey for all the other episodes. All of a sudden now you're changing it up. Yes. Yes, we are. We are changing it up. And what we'll do is you earn points to this point, right? 1 through 7. Your points carry over. We're going to take episode 8. We'll score them. take 8, add them to 7, and see how you do. That's how it's going to go. Arg. You left a couple R's out of there. Star Wars politics. Arg. Change is hard. Yes, I know. I swear I heard sonar ping. You probably did. Hi, Peanut. Here, you want to come over? You've been back there talking. Here, have a seat. All right, there you go. We have a Mike Porter dad joke. You want to hear the dad joke? Yeah. All right. Let's get to our Mike Porter dad joke. And here we go. Let's see. There it was. There's your sonar ping. I thought she might give it to you. Right? Say, there it is. Pew pew. Give him a pew pew. You go pew pew. Nope, we're doing sonar pings. Why does Bo-Katan seem so emotionally strong? Why does Bo-Katan sound so emotionally strong? Well, that's because she never cries in public. I know that's not how we pronounce it, but you could pronounce it that way. Well, because she never cries in public. That's why she seems so emotionally stable. So thank you for that, Mike Porter. I appreciate it. Time's up. Star Wars politics. So I had an automatic win, and now that gives you the chance to pass me. That's not fair. I had it in the bag by 0.5 point. Oh, you can still surpass me. And you know what? Star Wars politics Tuesday when I do predictions, all you have to do is copy paste. Although you did catch me changing them after the show one time, and I reserved the right to change my answers after the show, after my live stream and before the show airs. Hi. Pew pew. Yeah. Pew. Huh? You want to do something else? No. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Appreciate all your support, right? I have 52 right now. Right? I think I have 52. Oop. What? Oh, did I scare you when I moved it like that? Hold on a second. He's got me questioning myself here. If I go to the drive and I go to season, my predictions, well, that's in my ear. I can hear that. Wrong one. Let's see. And look at my season total. Go way out here to the end. Where's Star Wars Santa on here? I think I have 50. Yeah. Well, yeah. You're a funny bird. I have 52, Matt Risman. 52. I have 52. Sonar pings in the ear. I know. You're a good bird. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a great weekend. Go Buckeyes! We're going to beat those Longhorns tonight. And then we'll see you guys next weekend. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Remember those in Pasadena, in Southern California. Be praying for our friend Mike, Jedi Mike, and those who live in the area. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And we will see you next week. All right. Until then, my friends, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. And may the force be with you always. Bye-bye. I want to say pew, pew. No.